إصحاح 26.
Matthew 26.
ولما كمل يسوع الكلام ده كله قال لتلاميذه.
When Jesus had finished all these sayings, he said to his disciples,
تعرفوا إن بعد يومين يبقى الفصح.
You know that after 2 days the Passover is coming,
وابن الإنسان هيتسلم عشان يتصلب.
and the Son of Man will be delivered up to be crucified.
وقتها اتجمع الرؤساء بتوع الكهنة والكتبة وشيوخ الشعب.
Then the chief priests and the elders of the people gathered
في دار رئيس الكهنة اللي اسمه قيافة.
the palace of the high priest, whose name was Caiaphas,
وتشاوروا عشان يمسكوا يسوع بمكر ويقتلوه.
and plotted together in order to arrest Jesus by stealth and kill him.
ولكنهم قالوا مش في العيد.
But they said,
Not during the feast,
عشان ما تحصلش هرجلة في الشعب.
lest there be an uproar among the people.
ولما كان يسوع في بيت عنيا في بيت سمعان الأبرص.
Now when Jesus was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper,
طلعت له ست معاها ازازة ريحة تمنها غالي.
a woman came up to him with an alabaster flask of very expensive ointment,
فكبتها على راسه وهو قاعد ياكل.
and she poured it on his head as he reclined at table.
فلما شاف تلاميذه كده اتغاظوا وقالوا
And when the disciples saw it, they were indignant, saying,
ليه البعترة دي؟
Why this waste?
لأنه كان ممكن تبيع الريحة دي بكتير ويتعطي للفقراء.
For this could have been sold for a large sum and given to the poor.
فعرف يسوع وقال لهم.
But Jesus, aware of this, said to them,
ليه بتزعجوا الست؟
Why do you trouble the woman?
لأنها عملت بيا عمل كويس.
For she has done a beautiful thing to me.
لأن الفقراء معاكوا في كل وقت.
For you always have the poor with you,
وأما أنا فمش معاكوا في كل وقت.
but you will not always have me.
لأنها لما كبت الريحة دي على جسمي.
In pouring this ointment on my body,
هي عملت كده عشان تكفني.
she has done it to prepare me for burial.
الحق بقول لكم.
Truly I say to you,
كم هيبشر بالإنجيل ده في كل العالم.
wherever this gospel is proclaimed in the whole world,
هيتحكي كمان عن اللي عملته دي ذكرى ليها.
what she has done will also be told in memory of her.
وقتها راح واحد من ال12 اللي اسمه يهوذا الإسخريوطي للرؤساء بتوع الكهنة وقال.
Then one of the 12, whose name was Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said,
عايزين تدوني ايه وانا اسلمه ليكو؟
What will you give me if I deliver him over to you?
فجهزوا له 30 من الفضة.
And they paid him 30 pieces of silver.
ومن الوقت ده كان بيدور على فرصة عشان يسلمه.
And from that moment he sought an opportunity to betray him.
وفي أول أيام الفطير.
Now, on the first day of unleavened bread,
طلع التلاميذ ليسوع يقولوا له.
the disciples came to Jesus saying,
تحب فين نجهز لك عشان تاكل الفصح؟
Where will you have us prepare for you to eat the Passover?
فقال روحوا للمدينة لفلان وقولوا له المعلم بيقول إن وقتي قريب.
He said,
Go into the city to a certain man and say to him, the teacher says, my time is at hand.
عندك حامل الفصح مع تلاميذي.
I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples.
فعمل التلاميذ زي ما أمرهم يسوع وجهزوا الفصح.
And the disciples did as Jesus had directed them, and they prepared the Passover.
ولما الدنيا ليلت قعد ياكل مع ال12.
When it was evening, he reclined at table with the 12.
وهم بياكلوا قال لهم.
And as they were eating, he said,
الحق بقول لكم.
Truly I say to you,
إن واحد منكم هيسلمني.
one of you will betray me.
فزعلوا قوي وابتدى كل واحد منهم يقول له.
And they were very sorrowful and began to say to him one after another,
هو أنا هو يا رب.
Is it I, Lord?
فجاوب وقال.
he answered,
اللي بيغمس ايده معايا في الطبق هو اللي هيسلمني.
He who has dipped his hand in the dish with me will betray me.
ابن الإنسان ماشي زي ما هو مكتوب عنه.
The Son of Man goes as it is written of him.
ولكن يا ويل الراجل ده اللي بيه هيتسلم ابن الإنسان.
But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed.
كان أحسن للراجل ده لو ما اتولدش.
It would have been better for that man if he had not been born.
فجاوب يهوذا اللي سلمه وقال:
Judas, who would betray him, answered,
هو أنا هو يا سيدي.
Is it I, Rabbi?
قال له: زي ما أنت قلت.
He said to him,
You have said so.
وهم بياكلوا أخذ يسوع العيش وبارك وكسر وإدى التلاميذ وقال:
Now as they were eating, Jesus took bread, and after blessing it, broke it, and gave it to the disciples, and said,
خدوا كلوا ده هو جسمي.
Take, eat. This is my body.
وأخذ الكاس وشكر وإداهم وهو بيقول:
And he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying,
اشربوا منها كلكم،
Drink of it, all of you.
لأن ده هو دمي اللي عشان العهد الجديد،
For this is my blood of the covenant,
اللي هيتكب عشان خاطر ناس كتار،
which is poured out for many,
عشان غفران الخطايا.
for the forgiveness of sins.
وبقول لكم اني من دلوقتي مش هشرب من عصير شجرة العنب ده.
I tell you, I will not drink again of this fruit of the vine
لحد اليوم ده لما هشربه معاكم من جديد في مملكة أبويا.
until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.
بعدين رنموا وخرجوا لجبل الزيتون.
And when they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives.
وقتها قال لهم يسوع:
Then Jesus said to them,
كلكم هتشكوا فيا في الليلة دي.
You will all fall away because of me this night.
عشان هو مكتوب اني هضرب الرعي فتتشتت خرفان الرعية.
For it is written, I will strike the shepherd and the sheep of the flock will be scattered.
ولكن بعد قيامتي هسبقكوا على الجليل.
But after I am raised up, I will go before you to Galilee.
فجاوب بطرس وقال له:
Peter answered him,
ولو شك فيك الكل فأنا ما شكش أبدا.
Though they all fall away because of you, I will never fall away.
قال له يسوع: الحق أقول لك
Jesus said to him,
Truly I tell you,
إنك في الليلة دي قبل ما يكاك يديك هتنكرني 3 مرات.
this very night before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times.
قال له بطرس: ولو اضطريت إني أموت معاك مش هنكرك.
Peter said to him,
Even if I must die with you, I will not deny you.
وكده قال كمان كل التلاميذ.
and all the disciples said the same.
وقتها جه معاهم يسوع لمكان بيتقال له جثيماني.
Then Jesus went with them to a place called Gethsemane,
فقال للتلاميذ: اقعدوا هنا لحد ما اروح اصلي هناك.
and he said to his disciples,
Sit here while I go over there and pray.
بعدين اخذ معاه بطرس والولدين بتوع زبدي وابتدى يحزن ويكتئب.
And taking with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, he began to be sorrowful and troubled.
فقال لهم: نفسي حزينة خالص لحد الموت.
Then he said to them,
My soul is very sorrowful, even to death.
خليكوا هنا واسهروا معايا.
Remain here and watch with me.
بعدين طلع قدام شوية ونزل على وشه وكان بيصلي ويقول:
and going a little farther he fell on his face and prayed, saying,
يابا لو ممكن تعدي عني الكاس دي.
My father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me.
ولكن مش زي ما انا عاوز لكن زي ما انت تحب.
Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will.
بعدين جه للتلاميذ فلاقيهم نايمين.
And he came to the disciples and found them sleeping.
فقال لبطرس: بقى كده ما قدرتوش تسهروا معايا ساعة واحدة.
And he said to Peter,
So could you not watch with me 1 hour?
اسهروا وصلوا عشان ما تدخلوش في تجربة.
Watch and pray that you may not enter into temptation.
أما الروح فنشيط وأما الجسم فضعيف.
The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
ومشي كمان تاني وصلى وقال:
Again for the 2nd time he went away and prayed,
يابا لو ما كانش ممكن تعدي عني الكاس دي غير بإني أشربها.
My father, if this cannot pass unless I drink it,
يبقى تكون إرادتك.
Your will be done.
بعدين جه فلاقيهم تاني نايمين لأن عينيهم كانت تقيلة.
And again he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were heavy.
فسابهم ومشي تاني
So, leaving them again,
وصلى مرة تالتة وقال الكلام ده نفسه.
he went away and prayed for the third time, saying the same words again.
بعدين جه لتلاميذه وقال لهم
Then he came to the disciples and said to them,
ناموا دلوقتي واستريحوا.
Sleep and take your rest later on.
ايه الساعة قربت
See, the hour is at hand,
وابن الإنسان هيتسلم لإيدين الخطاة.
and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners.
قوموا بينا أهو اللي هيسلمني قرب.
Rise, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand.
وهو بيتكلم جه يهوذا واحد من ال12.
While he was still speaking, Judas came, one of the 12,
ومعاه شعب كتير بسيوف وعصيان
and with him a great crowd with swords and clubs
من عند الرؤساء بتوع الكهنة وشيوخ الشعب،
from the chief priests and the elders of the people.
واللي سلموا اداهم علامة وقال
Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying,
اللي أبوسه يبقى هو، امسكوه.
The one who will kiss is the man. Seize him.
ففي وقتها طلع ليسوع وقال
and he came up to Jesus at once and said,
السلام يا سيدي، وباسه.
Greetings, Rabbi.
and he kissed him.
فقال له يسوع يا صاحب ليه جيت؟
Jesus said to him,
Friend, do what you came to do.
وقتها طلعوا ورموا الإيدين على يسوع ومسكوه.
Then they came up and laid hands on Jesus and seized him.
وواحد من اللي مع يسوع مد ايده وشد سيفه وضرب عبد رئيس الكهنة فقطع ودنه.
And behold, one of those who were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his ear.
فقال له يسوع رد سيفك لمكانه.
Then Jesus said to him,
Put your sword back into its place.
عشان كل اللي بياخده بالسيف بيضيعه.
For all who take the sword will perish by the sword.
تفتكر ما اقدرش دلوقتي اطلب من ابويا
Do you think that I cannot appeal to my Father,
فيقدم لي اكتر من 12 جيش من الملائكة؟
and he will at once send me more than 12 legions of angels?
لكن ازاي تكمل الكتب؟
But how then should the scriptures be fulfilled,
انه بالشكل ده المفروض يحصل.
that it must be so?
في الساعة دي قال يسوع للشعب
At that hour Jesus said to the crowds,
كأنه على لص خرجتوا بسيوف وعصيان عشان تاخدوني.
Have you come out as against a robber, with swords and clubs to capture me?
كل يوم كنت قاعد معاكم بعلم في الهيكل وما مسكتونيش.
Day after day I sat in the temple teaching, and you did not seize me.
وأما ده كله فحصل عشان تكمل كتب الأنبياء.
But all this has taken place that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled.
وقتها سابوا التلاميذ كلهم وهربوا.
Then all the disciples left him and fled.
واللي مسكوا يسوع مشوا بيه لقيافة رئيس الكهنة لمكان مجمع الكتبة والشيوخ.
Then those who had seized Jesus led him to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and the elders had gathered.
وأما بطرس فمشي وراه من بعيد
And Peter was following him at a distance,
لدار رئيس الكهنة.
as far as the courtyard of the high priest,
فدخل لجوه وقعد بين الخدم عشان يشوف النهاية.
and going inside he sat with the guards to see the end.
وكان الرؤساء بتوع الكهنة والشيوخ والمجمع كله بيطلبوا شهادة زور على يسوع عشان يقتلوه.
Now the chief priests and the whole council were seeking false testimony against Jesus that they might put him to death.
فما لقوش.
But they found none,
ومع انه جه شهود زور كتير ما لقوش.
though many false witnesses came forward.
ولكن في الاخر طلع 2 شهود زور وقالوا
At last 2 came forward and said,
ده قال اني اقدر اهد هيكل الله وفي 3 ايام ابنيه.
This man said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to rebuild it in 3 days.
فقام رئيس الكهنة وقال له
and the high priest stood up and said,
مش هتجاوب بحاجة؟
Have you no answer to make?
ايه اللي بيشهد بيه دول عليك؟
What is it that these men testify against you?
وأما يسوع فكان ساكت.
But Jesus remained silent.
فجاوب رئيس الكهنة وقال له
And the high priest said to him,
أستحلف نحلفك بالله اللي عايش تقول لنا انت هو المسيح ابن الله.
I adjure you by the living God. Tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God.
قال له يسوع زي ما انت قلت.
Jesus said to him,
You have said so,
وكمان بقول لكم
but I tell you,
من دلوقتي راح تشوفوا ابن الانسان قاعد على يمين القوة.
from now on you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power,
وجاي على سحاب السماء.
and coming on the clouds of heaven.
فشق رئيس الكهنة ساعتها هدومه وقال
Then the high priest tore his robes and said,
جدف، محتاجين في ايه شهود بعد كده؟
He has uttered blasphemy. What further witnesses do we need?
اديكوا سمعتوا التجديد بتاعه.
You have now heard his blasphemy.
شايفين ايه؟
What is your judgment?
فجاوبوا وقالوا انه يستاهل الموت.
They answered,
He deserves death!
وقتها تفوا في وشه وضربوه باللكمية.
Then they spit in his face and struck him,
وغيرهم ضربوه بالكف وهم بيقولوا
and some slapped him, saying,
اتنبأ لنا يا مسيح مين ضربك؟
Prophesy to us, you Christ. Who is it that struck you?
اما بطرس فكان قاعد بره في الدار.
Now, Peter was sitting outside in the courtyard,
فجات له خدامة تقول له
and a servant girl came up to him and said,
وانت كنت مع يسوع الجليلي.
You also were with Jesus the Galilean.
فأنكر قدام الكل وقال
but he denied it before them all, saying,
مش عارف بتقولي ايه.
I do not know what you mean.
بعدين لما خرج للبوابة شافته واحدة تانية.
And when he went out to the entrance, another servant girl saw him,
فقالت للي هناك وده كان مع يسوع النصراني.
and she said to the bystanders,
This man was with Jesus of Nazareth.
فأنكر تاني بحلفان.
and again he denied it with an oath.
أنا معرفش الراجل.
I do not know the man.
وبعد شوية صغيرة جم اللي واقفين وقالوا لبطرس
After a little while, the bystanders came up and said to Peter,
حقيقي انت كمان منهم
Certainly, you too are one of them,
عشان لهجتك بتكشفك.
for your accent betrays you.
فابتدى وقتها يلعن ويحلف أنا معرفش الراجل.
Then he began to invoke a curse on himself and to swear.
I do not know the man.
وفي ساعتها كاكا الديك.
And immediately the rooster crowed.
فافتكر بطرس كلام يسوع اللي قاله له
And Peter remembered the saying of Jesus,
انك قبل ما يكاك الديك هتنكرني 3 مرات.
Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times.
فخرج لبره وعيط عياط مر.
and he went out and wept bitterly.